So this is going to be kind of a brief video. I believe something I heard years ago when I was a bit younger, and more recently I hope to kind of look back at some of the views I held in the past and put them to my current and future tests of scrutiny to see if some of the things I believed uncritically or less critically hold up. Now that I'm 35, my process of delineating truth is a bit more nuanced than it used to be, and I like to admit when I'm wrong. So I was wrong about something. I was going out and saying it until about 2 weeks ago when I was corrected. So I'm going to go over the DNC hack a little bit and some of Aaron Mate's claims, as well as Julian Assange claims and other people. I'm going to reference Comey as well. So Mate's claims are going to be here in this Real Clear Investigations article, where he essentially makes three claims, and you can read it over. The FBI was only given info that the DNC thought that they should get, which Mate claims taints the investigation, and Comey testified that he was asking for more information and they were denied that information. But what we have here in Sean Henry's testimony was that everything, under oath, was that everything that they were requested to give, they gave, and the FBI was completely satisfied. Claim number 2 is CrowdStrike found no evidence that Russia hacked the servers. Realistically, there's no smoking gun, and Mate later claimed that there was no smoking gun, that we didn't have definite proof, and that does have some truth. We don't have 100% definite proof that they hacked and took information off those servers. But there's two qualifiers to that, so I'll get to that in just a second. And that Mueller, in his report, stated that it appeared in one spot, that it appeared that Russia took this information off their servers, but the use of the word appeared in this particular circumstance, Mate claims, is that it's just speculation. So this is Josiah the Pondering. Now, I think this guy is kind of a left-winger. He jokes about himself being a hack, but in reality, there is a little bit of merit to that. He will disregard the truth in favor of things that make his party look more positive, and he's more about the wins of Democrats looking better than Republicans. That being said, somebody on that side is the perfect person that you go to for information debunking the other side of the argument. When I want to know something about Joe Biden doing something bad, I don't go to Democrats, I go to Republicans. When I want to know something about Trump doing bad, I don't go to Republicans, I go to Democrats. I want to know truthful opposition and what they were able to dig up, because their test of scrutiny for believing the opposition party is going to be pretty much as high as the bar gets. So I appreciate that he did this, spent some time kind of correcting me, and did it in a polite manner. So I'm going to put this up on the screen. If you want to pause it and take a read through here, you can. I just want you to be able to see the information he sent me here. And this is from the Mueller report. He also turned me on to this specific blog post by CrowdStrike, where they actually contradict Mate's claims and offer up a lot of information. This is the testimony that Mate cherry-picked to get his one line out of, and then left a lot of information on the table that he probably should have, if he was less disingenuous, he probably should have included a lot of that information I'm going to go over. And then we have the claim from Julian Assange saying that Russia didn't ever give him the emails. We never got to see who gave him those emails, so his source is still not identified. But the CIA claims they did identify that source, so I'm going to just cover all that very briefly. The Pondering says Mate's claims are weak. The Mueller report in other places, as I just showed you here, does say that they know that the DNC was hacked by the GRU. And going into this testimony here, we find out that the names of those two entities inside the Russian government were called Cozy Bear and Fancy Bear. Cozy Bear being Russian intelligence, and Fancy Bear being Russian military, or specifically the GRU. And we know Cozy Bear was identified inside the DNC servers as early as July 2015, and Fancy Bear was seen shifting from the DCCC servers to the DNC servers a little later on. Now, the claim that there's no concrete proof comes from the fact that we don't have any proof that they actually removed anything from those servers. But what they say in this testimony here is that it could have just been screenshotted. There's other ways they could have gotten that information out besides copying the files and bringing them over in an old school hack format. They say in this testimony as well that we know that the servers that were used to hack into the DNC were Russian servers. We know that the techniques and tools used to do this hack were consistent with previous hacks done by Russia. Now, they could have been other entities, and that is admitted in here that other entities do have access to those tools, but the style and manner that they were used lines up with Russia's actions in the past. So there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that Russia actually was responsible for this hack. And I just want to say, like, I got this one wrong. I believed Mate uncritically where I should have fact-checked him. I didn't, and I kept pushing this forward years later when I probably should know better. So, my bad. I think it's important that, when you say something wrong, you admit you were wrong. You don't obfuscate, change the subject, use bad faith tactics, insult people. So I just want to say to Josiah Rumine, appreciate it. Thank you very much again for being cordial and having decorum in this conversation while you were also showing me I was wrong about something. There's more to this. I'm trying to... Oh, here's another one. This is also from the Mueller report. Again, you can pause it here if you'd like to and take a look at that. And again, he also links me over to this blog post. I just want to keep it up here. So if you want to go and check out the link yourself and read through it, and you can see Aaron Mate was kind of feeding you some baloney. And not that he was factually incorrect about anything he said, but the facts that he cherry-picked out changed the context of the story. And that to me is disingenuous. Cherry-picking on its own isn't necessarily a bad thing, because when you're summarizing something, you're technically cherry-picking it. You're leaving out most of the details to give a summary, but the difference between a summary and bad faith cherry-picking is the summary keeps the context of the situation intact with your summary, whereas cherry-picking kind of alters that context to fit a different narrative. So, CrowdStrike was hired by Michael Sussman and Perkins Coie, the law firm that he worked for. They were in direct communication with the FBI. They were giving the FBI mostly everything that they asked for this investigation to prove it was Russia. The FBI already had some idea that it was Russia, and they used the term, I'm looking for it here in my notes. Oh, what's the term they use? Come on. Sorry, I got about 4 pages of notes, and I'm not going to go through all of them. But, I did go through all these citations that he gave me, and some more from myself, just to kind of follow up on this. I can't find the term right now, it's really not important. Anyways, the FBI had some indications that it was Russia right out the gates, and they told the DNC this. The DNC then passed that information along to the DNC and Perkins Coie passed that information along to CrowdStrike, who was doing this investigation. As well, CrowdStrike was buffering up the security of the DNC in this process. And now we also have U.S. intel reports saying we know exactly who gave that information to WikiLeaks, and it was Russians. So it really looks bad on the credibility of Aaron Mate when you leave a lot of stuff like this out. It looks bad on the credibility of Julian Assange. It's really usually pretty good. The WikiLeaks, like them or not, have a pretty solid track record of reporting pretty factual material across the board and not cherry picking it. I just wanted to kind of come out and say, again, thank you for Josiah for looking this over, not just giving up and saying, oh, this guy's an idiot. He actually corrected me, and I appreciate that. So, thank you. I wanted to come out and say I was wrong. I was pushing misinformation, and this is just like a 10-minute correction video saying that Aaron Mate misled me, and that led me to mislead you. I'm not making excuses. I'm not blaming him. I should have done due diligence to fact-check the people I was reading, and I did not. The error came from me at a younger age, not knowing how factual information could be doctored to fit a narrative, and to cherry pick and alter the actual narrative of what happened. So yeah, again, I just wanted to kind of come out and say, whoopsie, my bad, I goofed, and I was wrong. So that's about it. Take her easy, and again, thank you, Josiah.